Hi everyone, hope you're doing well from wherever you're watching this channel, depending on your time zone. Yesterday we had Sabasaba Day, which has turned into a real revolution. Kenyans are yearning for a change like that one which they were yearning for when they were fighting for multi-party. Remember when Moi was forced to repeal Section 2A of the Constitution and bring in the multi-party. So yesterday, William Ruto is out of the country. Gachagua was in control, and the demonstrations were going on across the country. So it's like police officers were given an order by Rigathi Gachagua to ensure that there is no successful demonstration in this country, that people will not be allowed to picket. People will not be allowed to speak their mind. People will not be allowed to demonstrate. People will not be allowed to express their anger in this government. So it means even when you are found, people will not even be allowed to walk on the road. Because once you are being seen on the road, you are being suspected as if you are leading demonstrations. Seemingly that's kind of order Gachagua gave to the officers. And officers who are well trained refused to use their brain and decided to buy into Rigathi Gachagua's drama. So what do? They decided to go and use the force. Using force, you tear gas people, you beat them, you intimidate them, you frustrate them, you block them. So Kenyans got so much provoked with all those kind of treatment in the hands of police officers. And when they were too much provoked, they decided that, well, now we will not allow this to continue. We are going also to teach you police officers a political lesson. Because now it's all politics. You are defending an enemy of the people rather than standing with the people of Kenya. Because the reality is that when there is demonstration, the work of officers is to protect both those who are demonstrating and the properties, the truth. So what happened? Police officers engaged in a battle with the common mwananchi. This was happening in Kisii. We're just still in Kisii. And I will not stop talking about Kisii, because Kisii has served an example of resilient people who want to pass a message to the president, whether he like or not, whether being blocked or not. So with that situation, there is a video that has been widely shared on social media, and I wanted to watch it here shortly, whereby police officers were overwhelmed by common mwananchi, and they were literally chased like Burukenge on the street. So they had to run for their life. And this confirms to you that when Kenyans are determined, then even police officers are not going to protect William Ruto. They will be chased like this across the country. Now we are continuing with the Pangina discussion. There's a quick request for those who are watching and you have not subscribed, please consider subscribing. To our returning subscribers, I must say thank you so much, and again to all our viewers, please give this video a thumbs up. Thank you so much, and back to this discussion. Now, the reality is that the police officers are not justified to do what they were doing. But Kenyans to some extent are justified to do what they did. Sasa zingine kama umefunga room na unapiga paka, umeweka kwa kona, huyo paka usipochunga ataruka na wewe. Ataruka na wewe. Na paka akiruka na wewe atakuumiza. That is exactly what was almost happening in that video. You can't continue to put Kenyans in a corner whereby now you want to forcefully have your way. That's what Ruto is trying to do through Gachagua. You forced everything on the throats of Kenyans. And now, after even passing a poisonous bill that is meant to destroy the economy of the people, kill the jobs and stronghold Kenyans through hunger because they cannot afford basic commodities, then you go to an extent of even stopping these people from speaking their mind. You don't want them to come out and speak about what they are going through by using police officers to intimidate them. Imefika mahali Wakenya wamefika kwa kona. Sasa mchezo imeisha. They are going to deal with the police officers decisively when police officers are trying to gag their constitutional right. The truth is that those police officers were literally breaking the law that they are supposed to protect. What they were doing was against Article 37 and 38 of our Constitution. The right to demonstrate, the right to political choice. That's the reality. And let me just remind you by reading this. According to Article 38 of our Constitution, we have a right to assemble, demonstrate, picket, and petition. Every person has the right peaceably and unarmed to assemble, to demonstrate, to picket, and to present petition to public authorities. That's exactly what Kenyans were doing. But these officers were breaking the law by trying to block them. You read Article 38 of our Constitution, it says that every citizen is free to make political choice. Every citizen has the right to free, fair, and regular election based on universal suffrage and the free expression of the will of the election. So it's very clear. We have right to we have a political right to assemble, to demonstrate, to picket, to petition, and freedom of movement and residence. That is what these officers were gagging. Don't infringe on our freedom and our rights. Once you continue like this and we are hungry, then we know our right. Kenyans really know their right. That's why they have been able to chase these police officers. Not that they are acting in a vacuum. They know their right very well. And because they know their right, that's why they are fighting for that right. And if you become the bloc that is preventing Kenyans from having their right, then they are going to remove that block. They will move with you. Kenyans have to break that barrier. So police officers are acting as a barrier to prevent Kenyans from, is it preventing? Let me use the right word. The right word. To block Kenyans from accessing their right. It was Sabasaba Day in remembrance. And it was right time for Kenyans to use their right in the Constitution to picket, to protest, to assemble, to present petition to the authorities. Kenyans have a right to political choice. If they choose Azimio, so be it. If they choose Kenya Kwanza, so be it. For yesterday, the choice was to stand with the position of Azimio la Umoja. Because Azimio is saying that you are strangling Kenyans. We will not continue to keep quiet and allow you to strangle Kenyans live. They're saying no. So what we are seeing youth doing there, they're telling officers, stop this. Otherwise, if not, tutasonga na nyinyi. Mrushe tear gas, turushe mawe. And indeed, police officers were overwhelmed. So this is just the beginning. It is high time for police officers to go and start asking themselves questions. If you went for a training, what were you taught in that training? Besides the issue of handling protests and all those other things. Walikuambia nini kuhusu maandamano? Walikuambia Wakenya wakiandamana kazi yako ni kwenda kuwapiga tear gas. So, between bringing a peace during mass action, keeping peace, and causing destruction and mayhem, what were police officers doing yesterday? We saw police officers causing disruption, mayhem, and trouble during mass action. So are they peacekeepers? Instead, these people were destructors of peace. We saw Kenyans protesting, and they passed even to shop. Even in the village, on the street, where there was massive crowd protesting, we saw shopkeeper opening the shop. People were demonstrating. They passed the shop. They never touched anything. That tells you that Kenyans are focused. Their focus is on the elephant, not the squirrel and all those other things. The discipline we saw yesterday during mass action, it was huge. It is very clear that Kenyans are not willing to go and break into other people's property. Their focus is to send a message to this William Ruto regime. Ndio maana shopkeeper alifungua biashara yake and it was running. No one was touching. That photo has been shared widely. And that alone speak millions, volume of words. So you see, you can't stop a revolution or a movement that has already kicked off if you don't have a formula. The formula is to bring down the cost of living, not bringing officers to use force to break the law and chase the people. This message is not just for police officers. The message is for Gachagua and William Ruto. These officers that you are using to protect you might not protect you at the end of the day. Kenyans are many compared to police officers. Even if you want to use the gun, that gun and the bullet will not protect you, Gachagua and Ruto. The message is clear. The message is for you. Don't think that you are safe. You are not.